guys. And
Hey, Shalom, my praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, peace and salutations to the elect and all the brothers pushing us work in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Tamayan from GMS Toronto coming at you with another video. So for the last couple of weeks, I was supposed to make this video about the black Scottish that the so-called African Americans didn't know existed. Hey man, Jake in America's really lost, all right? But anyways, they're pretty much getting into contact with the black Scottish people because to their surprise, didn't know that Scotland had so-called black people in it, right? And this is how you know this is biblical, because the brothers in North America, the so-called black Americans, they're linking back up with these people from Scotland, meaning that they were uh, once were together in one kingdom, right? Because a lot of our people was once part of the Scottish Empire, right, with King James, right, and they ruled over Ireland and all these places, right, and all these people had so-called black people in it, right, and when you go into the history of Oliver Cromwell, he Oliver Cromwell versus the black Irish, right, and Scottish, and what he destroyed that civilization, man, right? He pretty much killed off all the black Irish, send them to the Caribbean, and all that stuff, right? It says here Oliver refers to Oliver Cromwell, the 17th century English military and political leader who, through his campaign, exiled thousands of Irish people to the Caribbean, right? Leading to the formation of communities with complex shared histories between the Irish and African population. Black Irish is a complex term referred to both the descendants of these Irish exiles who integrated with African population in the Caribbean, which is bullshit, right? Those are Israelites, all right? And more generally to people of Irish descent with darker hair and eyes, right? Phrase Oliver versus Black Irish thus highlights, and I just typed this in um, but there's a history there that our people don't know about. Even the people in the Caribbean, when you go to places like Montserrat, all right, they have the biggest Irish St. Patty's Day party, man, right? That's where most of the Black Irish in the Caribbean went. It's in Montserrat, right? You can go on YouTube and there's documentaries here, right? When you look into these things, this is what you see over here, right? The Black Irish of Montserrat, right? So-called black woman, right? Because Montserrat isn't too far from the island that I grew up on, because when Montserrat had their volcano in 1999, all the ashes came to my island, right? Not knowing that this, this is these are all Israelites that was once part of the Scottish Empire, right? In the 1700s, 1700s, right? And the so-called Black Americans are just finding out these things, but that's not really important, to be honest with you, because we rule these different kingdoms at one point, right? It was so-called black men and women and children, right? That controlled these areas, these islands like Ireland, Scotland. The word Scot literally means black, right? Scot means black. Let me see if it'll pop up. No, Scot does not mean black. Okay. It comes from the word Scotia, right? They literally took these definitions. These are definitions that I used to have just type up on Google, and it literally it used to pop up. Like I used to look for what's his name, Vlad the Impaler, and in 2016 they gave me the what he looked like and all this stuff, and now you go back to look for these things, they're gone. But anyways, the word Scot comes from the word Scotia. Okay, I'm not talking about the Scotians in Canada. That's the black Scotians. That's also an indicator. But the word Scot comes from the word Scotia, right? Which means black. The word dub in Ireland, Dublin, right? All these words are I think means black also. See? In Dublin. In Irish and Scottish Gaelic languages, dub, pronounced roughly as du or dub, means black or dark. The word ancient Proto-Indo-European roots mean the origin of the word, name of the city of Dublin, right? So, black land or Blackland, right? Same thing with the Scotland, right? England means angel, land of the angel, man, right? Go back to what Anglo-Saxon, angelic sons of Isaac. So these are all history when you go into black, so-called black crest. Slovakia. Coat of arms. Scotland. Ireland. Okay, let's see what comes up. Right, these are all black surnames too, right? When you look up all these things, this is also you, so-called black people of America and the Caribbeans, right? You're all Israelites, but before, at one point we were calling ourselves different things. Just like now, these are all bywords, anyways. But these are all, coat of arms. When you can go deep into coat of arms and find a lot of things, right? A lot of when you go to Germany and all those places, right? And we made videos. We made a lot of videos about all these coat of arms and black families, the nobility, right? It's but now people are waking up and they're seeing certain things, and then they're finding it hard. Even white people are talking shit because they seem to think that those lands belong to them for some reason, right? This whole world is ours, right? So I think I just saw a new Viking movie with this coat of arm on it, right? I'm going to Germany. All these, they have different faces on them now, but there's one of them that look like Kevin Hart, right? Or the black man standing. How the hell is it? I took a screenshot of it too. Anyway, these are all coat of arms of Germany and Ireland and all those places. When you go into these coat of arms, right? But these are, like I said, these are, part of our history or whatever. But the real history is in the scriptures. You can go deep into this. So I know you people finding it hard that they're black Scottish people.
Boy, I heard people talking about black Irish people. Yeah, my people have been in Ireland for 400 years. I just want to say, the Africans, keep our name out of your mouth. I am not African. I was born here in Ireland. And as you can see, I do have red hair, naturally, because I am...
Hey, Black Scottish cousins, I have a quick question from your Black American cousin whose family has been here through the French since the 1700s and through the African enslavement through the 1600s. Yes, I researched my entire history. I have a question. I just saw Roy Woods Jr. interviewing someone Black from the UK, and she said that they learn about Afro-Caribbeans, they learn about Africans from the continent, they learn about...
See, talk about it. Man. That's how I keep. This is the disconnect. Right? We are Israelites. We are Israelites, man. We're not Africans, okay? Right, this is who we are. Genesis 32 and 28. And it says, and he said, thy name shall, this is when Jacob was wrestling with the angel, right? The name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel, which is Yashar Allah, which is he, Prince God. He's the Prince of God, okay? That's who we are. We're not Africans. Right? That word African come from a Roman general, right? We are not Africans, man. We are princes of God. For prince, thou hast power with God and with men, and hast prevailed, right? So that's who we are. We are not Black Irish. We are not Black Scottish. Yes, we were there, but we are Israelites. Okay? Our people are still there. Our people are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? So these titles that we're here, there's nothing but byword. Right? Let's go into the curses. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. Okay? So when you got led into fucking Ireland,
you another one. The protect.
Right.
Did you know that the Scottish and Irish were black people, and they?
He knows that this man right here knows the truth also, but he walk around wearing fringes. He knows he's an Israelite too, so you can watch his stuff, right? But he goes into this history. But we're Israelites, man. Right? The proverb and byword, Ireland, Dublin, Scotland. This is not, it's not a term of endearment, man. These are all bywords. We're Israelites, man. Right? Fuck all of this shit. You guys are so happy to be a goddamn Irishman. Okay? So you're so happy to be a Jamaican. So happy to be a Vincentian, a fucking Trinidadian, a Ghanaian, Nigerian, right? A Native American. You're so proud to be called a Latino. Okay? But those are all bywords. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, whither all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. Right? This is what you are now. Thinking that it's something special. So-called Black Americans, man. You guys, Judah. You don't want to be Judah anymore. You want to be an African American, Afro-American. No such thing as a fucking Afro. It's a hairstyle American, right? Right? But all this is gonna come to an end real soon, though. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get back that which was lost. Ezekiel 37, right? KJV. 6 moments before I turn this off. It says here, the hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. And this is what you niggas represent. See all of this?
were the same.
See all
So
this
I'm really
nonsense?
pleased with a lot of Americans finding about
This
us
is
black.
the dry bone.
We're spraying debt all over the place.
Dry bone.
Okay, guys. So basically, since
Yes,
Never
I am
mind
black.
that.
Yes, I am Scottish. I'm black.
Dry bone.
So apparently I haven't said much.
Dry bone.
Hi guys, my name's Dancing Captain.
Dry bone.
The Americans discovered this black Scottish people.
Dry bone.
So it has come to my attention.
Dry bone.
my friend was saying that Americans have found Scottish black people.
Dry bone, man. So what are you still talking about black and Scottish and all that foolishness? Right? This is who we are, man. Fuck all of that. Anyways, the hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and carried me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry, right? And the open valley, you know, if you go to America, that's an open valley right there. All these dry bones. If you go to Scotland, open valley, dry bones. Ireland, open valley, dry bones. Jamaica, open valley, dry bones. Trinidad, Venezuela, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, dry bones. Okay? And said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I said, O Lord, power, you knowest. And again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. And guess what? The dry bones that woke up are the men on the street corners, man. Right? We were once dry, now here we are. Thus saith the Lord, power, unless, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live. So these people right here, these dry bones,
And then I
they
look
have
at
no breath in them, man. Right? The same thing happened to Adam, right? All of us were in the position that Adam was in. He woke up.
A lot of black people are Irish and they don't.
Of course,
Right?
Flax.
A lot of them are waking up. Salakia. Same thing happened to Adam, right? Adam, he was dry before, and then the Lord put that breath into him, man. The word got into Adam, right? And then he woke up. Same thing with Abraham. Abraham was a dry bone at one point. He woke up, right? Where am I? And I will lay, verse 6, and I will lay sinews upon you, and I will bring up upon flesh, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Right? So the sinews, you know, and the breath is pretty much your identity, the word of the Lord, that you know who you are again, right? And you're speaking to these people, telling them what's about to happen, telling them who we are. These are the dry bones getting skin and sinews, right? And ultimately the breath, right? And I will listen. Where am I? So I prophesied, and I was commanded, and I prophesied. There was the noise, and behold, the shaking, and the bones came together, bone of his bones. So you're still seeing even these guys right here, them looking, you know.
Scottish people exist.
These
The videos I made
wake
using
up, right?
A lot of
Because
black people.
my friend was
all
saying
this
that.
stuff is pretty much
So it has
making, you know, them curious, and then they're gonna look and they're gonna find out things. They're gonna go deeper than black Irish and black Scottish, man. Right? Verse 9. No, verse 8. And when I beheld, and lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, and there was no breath in them. So a lot of people still gonna find out a lot of things, right? Like they get closer and closer to being Israelites, and then they never come to the full understanding, right? That's also an example. But the men that are gonna come through all of these things are men who are gonna have everything: the breath, the sinew, the skin, everything. That's the elect. Then said he unto me, Prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say unto the wind, Thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, and O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. So these dead bones,
Come
they
to
can
my
also
tent.
The
be
Americans are Scot.
they can also be part of the elect too, because the so-called Black Americans and these guys are linking back up. You're one people, man. You're Israelites, all right. And then this happened. Israelites on corners, all right. This is who Ezekiel 37 is talking about, man. Right? You're watching prophecy right here. Shalom.